Hey everyone, I'm Matt Harty, National Channel Manager with CNSG and AppSmart Company, and welcome to ProviderSMART. Today I've got Kathy Flick, Director of Master Partnerships with Nextiva. Kathy, hope you're doing well, and thanks for joining us on the show.
I'm excited to be here. I don't know when this will air, but it's a Friday, and it's the second half of the afternoon. So after this, I think I may be going outside and hanging out with my dogs, but excited to be here.
All right. Yeah, we're excited to have you and TGIF. And, today we're going to talk about, Nextiva's collaboration tools and your integrated communications platform, NexOS. And before we get into all that, I was hoping you could kind of share a little bit about your role and what brought you to Nextiva.
Sure. So, I've been in the industry for a while. And, I had spoken with a couple of people about Nextiva. I saw them as an up-and-comer. There was an opportunity, and after speaking with several of, honestly, the channel managers and some of the leadership, I knew that Nextiva was going to be making waves. They had a great reputation, and I wanted to be part of that wave that they were going to be making. So that's kind of what brought me to Nextiva. My role specifically is, as far as CNSG, I work with CNSG more on the leadership side. I work on the overall strategic business planning, whereas our channel managers are more of the tactical day-to-day, really working directly with your partners. From time to time, I do get the opportunity to work with some of your managing partners, at least communicate with them. So I have to give a shout out to Ali, who is one of my most favorites. So Ali, what's up?
All right, great. Love the shout out. Yeah, and so for the partners that while we're recording this, it's about the third week in November. I understand that Nextiva has some big news around the next iteration.
So I'm going to talk about NextOS. We are right now in the third week of November. Next week is Thanksgiving. Looking forward to that. But we do have some big news. We have some big news. There's just a lot going on at Nextiva. But you will see, if you haven't already, several emails come out. Look at social media. You will see NextOS everywhere. NextOS is a revolutionary platform. We're extremely excited about it. It's really going to change the way we look at communications holistically. So we're very excited about it. There's going to be partner training online. We're going to roll that out. But that's what I can say about the NextOS platform. We've been waiting for this. We have developers on staff that, this has been in the making before I even joined a year and a half ago. So it's going to be fun. This is that wave I was talking about. So I feel like it's building and building, and I'm just on my boogie board, like trying to hurry up and keep up. So be on the lookout for more information on NextOS.
We're looking forward to it. And obviously, you have an established brand in the channel. A lot of partners know you for your UCaaS and CCaaS and an integrated communications platform. Can you kind of talk about what areas do you think Nextiva differentiates itself in this space and where partners should be thinking about bringing Nextiva into the conversation with their clients?
Absolutely. So I think, with everything that's gone on this year, obviously UCaaS has really been pushed into the forefront for several businesses when they're looking at their business plans. A lot of employees have had to, go to a remote workforce. And let's be honest, a lot of big companies have announced they're going to allow their, employees to work remotely, or they're not even going to open up their office anymore. So this changes, how we're looking at communications completely. And UCaaS has been brought to the forefront. And what I'm seeing, and I think what our partners are seeing and how they're being successful, is that there are some specific verticals, especially in the last couple of months, that I think that we've focused on. And because of our collaboration tools and our Microsoft Teams integration, our integration with other CRMs, I think we have been successful. So the verticals really that have been big have been nonprofit, have been financial institutions. Retail is extremely important. There's a lot that's going, online now. So I would say that, and then healthcare, huge. We have a whole telehealth product offering. So that has been extremely successful. So I would say if you are a partner and you're working in any of those verticals, that you should definitely reach out to either you, Matt, or if they already know their Nextiva channel manager. If they don't, then you obviously can introduce them. They should know what Nextiva is offering. And even if they have another UCaaS provider that they're offering, I mean, there's several UCaaS providers in the space that are very successful, that are great companies. But even if you have another UCaaS provider, you owe it to yourself and to your customers to check out Nextiva. Because I can promise we're going to be the biggest competitor when you walk in if you're working with another provider and you want to know about Nextiva and who's walking in the door as well.
So, Kathy, another area where I'm hearing where Nextiva is differentiated with your NextOS platform is really around your customer journey analytics and your dashboards and some of the rich reporting metrics that you can provide for Nextiva clients. Could you maybe talk about how your platform fits that and what clients are using those dashboards for?
Absolutely. So, one of, the most important things we talk about for businesses to stay competitive is knowing what the customer sentiment is. And it's very difficult to know what your customer sentiment is if you don't have the tools to actually judge that or measure that, and even having the tools to make that customer sentiment real time. So there's different things, within our NextOS platform. One of the things that we talk about is call pop, very non-technical term, which is why I like it, but a call pop. So when the phone rings, I automatically get a screen pop that tells me exactly who it is, and it can give me notes on, the last time they called and what their sentiment is based on maybe a survey that was automatically set out that we already had set up for the customer. And the great thing is the customer can customize the type of information that they want, the type of analytics that they want based on, their business. For me, I shop online all the time now, and I'm sure many other people today do as well, especially with what's going on, and, I'll be online looking at one site looking at a, beautiful pair of boots, and then I'll totally pivot to, maybe a dessert site because I want to order cupcakes, and over to the side, I'll see a picture of those boots that I was just on that website. So all of that is really wrapped up in communication, and that is how businesses are staying competitive. And those are the things that partners should be looking for, and that's why you should really know about Nextiva, because we're just so much more than voice. Voice is really hardly part of the conversation anymore. It's really around your business, and one of the things, one of the questions that I've learned from our enterprise architect team, the main question they tell you to ask is, what is your automation strategy? It used to be, what's your DR plan, right? What's your disaster recovery plan? Now it's a given that you better have a disaster recovery plan, right? Now it's, what is your automation strategy? And if the customer says, what does that mean? Or, I don't have one. You could immediately go onto a website to one of their competitors and you see a chat bot comes up, right? And you can go, one of your competitors has it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about how that's going to keep you relevant and keep your customers coming back to you. So it's just totally changed the conversation.
Absolutely, and to your point, the voice has to be the bare minimum. You're coming in with, your R&D team has invested, millions of dollars in developing, cutting edge software that can help solve business problems and, advance these companies. And it's much more than voice now. And I know that you can really span from anywhere from, maybe a 5-seat hosted voice deal to these complex, bundled contact center, integrated business communications platform type of deals. Hoping you could maybe kind of share a case study about kind of a complex win with Nextiva.
So here's what I will say, because I would be doing a disservice to the partners that are listening now if I don't speak to some of the new things that just happened this year as far as the resources that will bring me back to this question of a case study, okay? So Nextiva, when I joined like a year and a half ago, okay, we were seen as just SMB or even the SMB, and we did it well. And, we didn't have any issues, and it was all about the amazing service. And don't get me wrong, it still is. that will remain our bread and butter. I mean, we do it better than anyone else. But what has happened, and especially because of, our new platform, we are moving up market. And to prove that, we have put this enterprise solution architect team in place. A year and a half ago, we didn't have a VP of enterprise, and now we do. A year and a half ago, we didn't have enterprise solution architects in the region to be a resource with the partner. So I say that because that's all happened this year, along with several of the releases, right? Of course, the Teams integration, our Unity Contact Center, and now our NextOS platform, which again, just be ready. It's very exciting. So we're all looking forward to 2021. Everyone is, no matter what, but definitely looking forward to the NextOS. To come back to the case study, I would say that there are several that we can get into the weeds about, but one is when you're going into a larger opportunity, one of the resources that's extremely important for your partners, for CNSG partners, is being able to bring in an enterprise solution architect. Because that architect not only knows Nextiva, and especially our new platform, NextOS, but they know the entire stack. So that enterprise architect is going to be able to talk to any C-level, or anyone else in the organization for that matter, and talk to the value, whether it's marketing, whether it's finance, whether it's sales. They'll be able to talk to that, but they'll also be able to uncover more opportunity within that business for the partner. So it's not only the Nextiva solution coming in, it's also, again, looking at them holistically and being able to bring in, possibly other providers, right, that Nextiva isn't offering. So, one of my favorite case studies to talk about, and it may be because it's the simplest, but it's because it's something that happens quickly, right? This whole COVID thing happened, and businesses had to pivot, and they had to pivot quickly. And if you were on technology where you couldn't pivot quickly, I think that was crippling, unfortunately, for some businesses. So, we know that, COVID really early on hit, senior living homes and assisted living homes. We saw it all over the news. I go back to the automation strategy, that question we're asking. We worked with a very well-known senior assisted living home, found out that they had a COVID outbreak. I believe, and don't quote me, but I do believe that the COVID outbreak happened on the West Coast in one of their facilities. But they needed a way to immediately get out the message to every single facility, but not only the facilities across the U.S., but every single family member of someone that was living at their facilities. And they needed a way to get the message out, to get the message out quickly, and any other information surrounding that outbreak. And we're talking into the thousands. So they contacted Nextiva, and we were able to get a message out to all the facilities, to all of the family members, within 15 to 20 minutes. And that's automation, and we can go into the advanced IVR product, which I do believe actually is in your partner portal. We have several webinars, and there's more case studies. But that is like a high level, that is something where somebody calls you and you're like, I got a solution. And by the way, that solution happened. They called, I believe it was on a Saturday, and on a Sunday was when the message went out. So we're talking about a 24-hour turnaround message to thousands and thousands of people that could have very well saved lives. I mean, that's an amazing case study. And I didn't even talk about voice. So there's so much that Nextiva offers outside of voice. Again, voice is our bread and butter. It's what we do well. We will always do voice well. But now with our new platform, we're going to be able to push out new products and new applications very rapidly. And the beneficiary is going to be your partners and your customers.
Wow. I mean, talk about a powerful case study and use case. I mean, that's phenomenal. Think about the time is of the essence, and the power that you've had with that software. That's phenomenal. And I'm glad you brought up resources, because it's very, very powerful having, these dedicated channel contacts to move up market on these opportunities to qualify and uncover other pain points. And then, in addition to just the dedicated solutions engineering, channel sales contacts, I know there's also a lot of marketing collateral, and Nextiva does it, very, very well. I'm hoping you kind of talk about some of the marketing resources that might be available to our partners through CNSG or Nextiva.
Absolutely. We are very, very lucky to have a resident marketing rock star leading our channel marketing, Maylee Langley. If you have not heard her name, you have not been on LinkedIn or on social media. I think she's won every award possible this year, and deservedly so. She's kind of built what we call Connections, which is a whole demand gen suite for our partners. So there's already pre-built content in there, and it's very similar to CNSG Smart. And I believe we actually taken some of those email campaigns and pushed them into CNSG Smart. But it's content in there not only for email campaigns, but there's social content in there. We can do customized campaigns, and it's co-branding, and that's just the platform itself. We're doing a lot with our partners on the marketing side. And again, it's because of our view of the partnership, right? We don't walk in and go, hey, Matt, what are you selling today for Nextiva, right? It's all about equipping you with the right resources and the right tools, but also making a financial investment into your business and helping you grow your business. So this year, we rolled out the Next Level Partner Program, which, by the way, CNSG is one of our Next Level Masters. But our premier partners have multiple resources that they can take advantage of, and a lot of them are, a pretty hefty financial investment. If you've been on LinkedIn, you've seen a lot of our, virtual events. We're doing, wine tastings and bourbon tastings and cooking classes, and it all sounds, wow, that sounds fun. But we're not only doing it for partners, we're actually doing it for our partners' customers. And just as a fun event. It's not where you got to sit in front of a webinar, for 30 minutes, but it's just to get some face-to-face time. And the cost of those, as you probably know, are pretty hefty. Outside of that, we do demand gen days, where we provide actual leads to partners, and we have resources on hand to help them when they're making the calls and making the appointments. And we do fun incentives and contests and awards. And our marketing team is amazing that they'll customize a program for a partner. I mean, it doesn't have to be something that's on the list of the things that we've done. It can totally be something that's outside the box. So, if you're a partner, and you're interested in selling Nextiva, or you are selling Nextiva, and you're not reaching out to your channel manager, right, because that's your main point of contact, and talking to them about that, you're really missing out. Outside of our marketing department, I will say that we've added partner development managers, which is another huge, benefit that we brought to our partners. These PDMs will be working directly with our premier partners and bringing in our field marketing managers and talking more about business strategy. Because our channel managers, who are badass, by the way, like John Wolf and Nick Dupree and Sherry Barnes, they are out there selling, right? They're out there selling and quoting and closing business, and we want them to keep doing that. So now we brought PDMs in that will really help kind of look at, again, the partner's business holistically, bring in the field marketing manager, and really put a plan together to build their entire business and not just focus on, what are you selling for Nextiva today?
Right. No, love it. I mean, extra layers of support. You've got the CNSG team. You have, the Nextiva partner development managers. You have these rockstar channel managers that are helping you qualify and quote these opportunities. And, between our teams, I hope the partner community knows we've got you covered. And, we're looking forward to doing everything we can to, help you bring these wins to Nextiva and win. So with that, Kathy, thanks for the time. I really appreciate you joining us. And all the partners out there, tune in for the next edition of ProviderSMART. Thank you.
Thanks so much.